Hi everyone, I am Professor Dr. K.S.Rangasamy, Department of Management Studies, K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology, Tiruchendur. Now we are going to discuss about security threats in e-commerce environment, which is coming under the subject named as an e-business model. Security threats in e-commerce environment. From the technology perspective, there are three key points of vulnerability in e-commerce. The first one is client, the second is server, third is communication pipeline. So these are all the three key points of vulnerability. So we have to look on to this one by one. So in this section, we describe number of most common and most damaging form of security threats to the e-commerce customers and also to the site operators. Malicious code, potentially unwanted programs, phishing, hacking and cyber vandalism, data breaches, credit card fraud, credit card thefts, spoofing, pharming, spam, junk websites, and identity fraud, denial of services and DTOS attacks, sniffing, insider attacks, poorly designed server and client software, social network security issues, mobile platform security issues, and finally the cloud security issues. Malicious code. The malicious code, sometimes referred as malwares, which includes variety of threats such as viruses, worms, ransomware, Trojan horses, and bots. Sometimes the malicious code abilities in a computer's operating system, web browsers, applications and other software components. In the past, malicious code was often intended to simply impair computers and was often authored by a lone hacker. But increasingly, it involves a group of hackers or a nation-state supported group, and the intent is to steal the email address or logo credentials or personal data or financial information. So the ultimate aim is just stealing the information. That information could be anything. It could be your email address, or it could be your data, it could be your personal data, it could be anything, but the ultimate aim is hacking all those information or stealing all those information. So this is what is called as an malicious code. It is different from petty cache to organized crime. So exploit kits are collections of exploits bundled together and rented or sold as a commercial product, often with slick user interface and in-depth analytics functionality. Use of an exploit kit typically does not require much technical skills, enabling novices to become cybercriminals. Exploit kits typically target software that is widely deployed, such as Microsoft Windows, Internet Explorer, Adobe Flash and Reader, and Oracle Java. According to Malwarebytes Lab, exploit kits continue to pose a threat, with several new kits identified in 2019 that served payloads include ransomware and other malwares. Malware is often delivered in the form of malicious attachments to an email or embedded as a link in the email. Malicious links can also be placed in innocent-looking Microsoft Word or Excel document. The links lead directly to malicious code downloads or websites that include malicious codes. So another method for malicious code distribution is to embed it with an online advertising chain known as malvertising. It is specifically named as malvertising, including via Google and other ad networks. As the ad network chain becomes more complicated, it becomes more and more difficult for the website to place their site on without malware-free sites. So these are all the terminologies of malicious programs, though the functionality is the same. The ultimate aim of all these malicious programs are stealing the information of both the sellers and also the buyers. But still, the functionality differs. Based on the functionalities and features, these are named differently as viruses, worms, logical bombs, Trojan horse, backdoors, mobile code, exploits, downloaders, auto routers, kits, spammer programs, flooders, keyloggers, rootkit, zombies, bot, spywares, and adwares. So potentially unwanted programs. In addition to malicious code, just now we have seen that malicious code is one of the important security threat which has been seen in the previous section. Now we are coming to the second section. The another important security threat is potentially unwanted programs, or otherwise called as PUPs. In addition to malicious code, the e-commerce security environment is further challenged by potentially unwanted programs, or PUPs, also sometimes referred to as potentially unwanted applications, PUAs, such as adware, browser parasites, spywares, and other applications, including rogue security software toolbars and PC diagnostic tools that install themselves on your computer, whether willingly or whether you are willing or not willing, but it will install itself on your computer without users' informed consent. Such programs are increasingly found on social network and user-generated content sites where the users are fooled into downloading them. Once installed, these applications are usually exceeding difficult to remove from the computer. One example of PUP is PC Protect, which infects PCs running Windows operating system. PC Protect poses as a legitimate anti-malware program when in fact it is malware. Adware is typically used to call for pop-up ads to display when the user visits certain sites. So you could have find out when you are visiting a particular website, you will find lot of pop-up menus which will comes up. So all these pop-up menus are not valid pop-ups where you will have adwares. So it is increasingly being used as a tool for cyber criminals. According to Malwarebytes Labs, adware are the dominant threat category in the year of 1990 for the consumers. A browser parasite, also sometimes referred to as browser setting hijacker, is a program that can monitor and change the settings of the user's browser. For instance, changing the browser's home page or sending information about the sites visited to a remote computer. Browser parasites are often a component of adware. In 2015, Lenovo faced a barrage of criticism where it became known that it had been shipping its Windows laptops with Superfish adware pre-installed. Superfish injected its own shopping results into computer's browser when the user searched on Google, Amazon, or other websites. In the process, Superfish created a security risk by enabling others on a Wi-Fi network to silently hijack the browser and collect anything typed into. Lenovo ultimately issued a removal tool to enable the customers to delete the adware. So this much complications are involved when a business is attacked by any kind of malicious code. So let us come to the next malicious code. Microsoft and legitimate security firms have redefined adware programs to be malware and discourage manufacturers from shipping products with adware programs. Cryptojacking installs a browser parasite that sucks up to a computer's processing power to mine cryptocurrency without the user's knowledge or consent. According to Webroot in 2019, almost 9 million URLs hosted a cryptojacking script. Spyware can be used to obtain information such as users' keystrokes, copies of email and instant messages, and even take screenshots, thereby capture passwords and other confidential data. Phishing. Social engineering relies on human curiosity, greed, gullibility, and fear in order to trick people into taking an action that will result in downloading of malwares. Kevin Mitnick, until his capture and imprisonment in 1919, was one of the America's most wanted computer criminals. So Mitnick used a simple deceptive technique to obtain passwords, social security, and police records, all without the use of any sophisticated technology. In early 2020, number of attacks using social engineering techniques was surged, exploiting rampant fear about the COVID-19 pandemic as well as interest in associated stimulus program. Phishing in any deceptive online attempt by a third party to obtain confidential information for financial gain. Phishing attacks typically do not involve malicious code, but instead rely on straightforward misinterpretation, fraud, so-called social engineering techniques. One of the most popular phishing attack is the email scam letter. The scam begins with an email with a rich former oil minister of Nigeria is seeking a bank account to slash millions of dollars for a short period of time. So this kind of notifications or a lot of emails you would have received, you would have experienced even. So these kind of malwares are available in any online business. So being a customer or even being a seller, we have to be cautious about all these Trojan wares and adverts and pop-up menu malicious codes. Thank you.